my friend, and welcome. I'm so glad you could stop by today. We are back on the ranch with Clara and company, and it's going to be a day of training horses and caring for the animals and just generally settling into our winter routine. Um, I will say, when I was first loading into the game today, it was a little strange. I thought that my lot had disappeared. And I was like, oh yeah, we moved the ranch. Whoops. So we're just kind of seeing to the needs right now of Sock and Haiku. They were both feeling a little bit on the neglected side. And then I'm having her go through and milk and shear and all of that kind of thing. And I'm thinking that the horse that needs the most of our attention is Haiku. He's just generally not having a lot of fun. But I also want to, I want to kind of get working on Arizona also. As adorable as Arizona is, the goal is to eventually sell both Arizona and Haiku. So we want to, work with that. And all right, yeah, Slipper needs a little more there. Actually, it does seem like Arizona gets along quite well with the other animals on the farm. Bartholomew is drinking from a puddle. I mean, we won't question what that is. We'll pretend it's melting snow and not what it probably is. Yeah, Kentucky is doing excellent, which is great. And it looks like Arizona is mostly excellent, other than a bit of, um, was that energy? Yeah, the energy is a little low, but nothing too serious. I think we're going to. She's training him. I think then we're going to maybe take Haiku out for another ride and try to build relationships there. Oof, just throwing himself on there. Oh, wait, we have 1,300 simoleons? Where did that come from? Did I forget that we had money? Did I pay the bills? I probably didn't pay the bills. Let's check the household. Oh, yep. I didn't pay the bills. I was like, we have way more money than we should here right now. Okay. Paying the bills from the horse. What a life. All right. Let's see if we can go for an intense ride today. No? You're going to jump right there. Hopefully he's a little more cooperative the second time. All right. Let's go for an intense ride. Let's hope we don't regret this. I think that Clara has the skill. Whoops. But I'm not so sure about Haiku. They're actually both doing really well. Well, he must be having fun because his fun and social have both gone up. So that's a good thing. And we're working on his endurance skill, which is also a big plus. There we go. Haiku has reached endurance level 3. We can now talk about riding with him. I mean, we have a ways to go on his other skills, and I don't feel like we're going to improve on his traits too quickly here, but his temperament's also at 3. Still trying to figure out how he has a handiness skill, but I think temperament is going to be a good one to work on because of his aggression and defiance. But I do also want to start working on those agility and jumping skills. I think when we get back, we will let him rest and take out Kentucky to work on probably barrels. I want to get her well or good enough to actually start working on one of her, or to start working on contests. Let's see. Also was, there we go. I wanted to switch back and forth between these aspirations so that we can, um, you know, work on completing both of them because we're kind of doing alternating seasons. The spring and fall is more of our nectar making seasons, and the summer and winter are our seasons for horsemanship. Ride home. So we will ride home, probably get something to eat. Well, never mind. We're going to walk home, apparently, and then get something to eat and take out Kentucky. I just noticed that she actually has a woodlet from that bucked off horse. Ouch. Did anybody see that? Clara's feeling a bit self conscious after being thrown from a horse. While she was eating, I was reminded to check through our nectar. We have several moderately aged bottles, and if you notice, they are already valued at 1,000 simoleons apiece. So we're getting there in the, very high range prices. Once these are fully aged, we're going to have some pretty good money coming in, and I think it's going to come in really quickly. I do believe these lower quality ones will be the first ones to actually age, but then after that we're going to be doing very well. We should be able to furnish this place in no time, and maybe be able to afford to hire a ranch hand or something. I'm going to go ahead and sell these parts. Those are robot parts, so we don't need those. And then we're going to take Mount Kentucky, and let's see, where were those barrels? Right there. Oh, I can't wait. I can't queue them up. I have to wait. Okay. Rain in the scenery, a beautiful ride across the landscape is just what Clara needed. Yeah, she really loved the ride. Um, she has one from Taking Care of Business, which disappeared on me just now, but um, basically, that ride gave her so much positive feedback. She's loving it. Okay. Whoa. Are we not going to wear... Okay, there. Not that I have anything against bareback, but I know that's not exactly a thing. Are you not on... Did you get bucked off again? Mount. She's feeling very playful. Okay. But can she stay on the horse? I suppose the thick, heavy snow is not the greatest thing to be practicing barrels in, but we have things to do here. And we don't have the money to pay for training, so you're just going to have to deal with it. I am going to try to save up as much of the manure that we get as possible and use that in the spring and fall for our plants. All right. Now we will see how they do. Okay, so she's definitely bumping the barrels. We have a ways to go here on these skills. We'll kind of see how long we can get away with this before she tells us she's had enough. Oh, she missed that barrel entirely. I think she's actually getting worse. Okay, how did that barrel move? Because she didn't get anywhere near it. I think there might be just a slight problem with the barrels. Is anyone surprised? I have also learned through a post on Reddit, I believe it was, that I am most definitely not the only one experiencing the really excessive lag that is happening. It is apparently not entirely the recording issue that I thought it was. It turns out that this like really bad lag has been happening to a lot of players since the Horse Ranch pack came out. So at least that tells me that there is hope that in 3 or 4 years they'll figure it out and maybe send out a fix that will mess up something else. So we have that to look forward to. All right, she knocked over a barrel, and I think that they have decided that that was the end of that. So we are going to go ahead and dismount. Well, let's ride home first, and then we will dismount. And it is after midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So, fair enough. We're going to just go ahead and do some evening chores before we head off to bed. The sheep and goats do need a little bit of help, but I think we're going to let them sleep and deal with that in the morning. I'm going to have her go around and clean up the manure. That was one thing that I noticed on a video by Deligracy, I believe it was, who I was watching at the time. When they pick up the manure, or when a ranch hand picks up the manure, they place it in your household inventory. That is a massive pain in the butt. Because you have to drag it out onto the ground and turn it into a pile of manure again anyway. It would just be much easier if it were to go into one of the, personal inventories instead, maybe whichever sim hired them. It's just, whoops, not put in inventory. What am I doing? We need to throw that away. It just makes no sense. And really just kind of creates an inconvenience. Okay. Okay, you're eating the grass. Okay, the horses are doing well. For the most part, the sheep and goats are not horrible, but they probably could use some basic care. But as I said, we'll put that off till morning. We'll let her get some sleep, and then I think we'll do another round of training. But I really think while we wait on those nectars to age, we should probably do another job too. So we'll see how she's doing in the morning and see how the sheep and goats are doing, and then try a job. Well, we're off to a great start on the day. She almost wet the bed, and she has a sore back because the bed is too cheap. So yeah, that's something we will need to work on at some point, is at least upgrading the mattress. That is another mod by Little Miss Sam. I really like that one because it allows me to keep beds that I like the aesthetic of, but, make them a little more comfortable so our Sims aren't totally miserable all the time. I also decided I should have her quickly complete another batch of nectar. I want to try to get at least one batch done a day so that we have a fairly continuous stream of nectar coming out when the time comes. The sheep and goats should all be awake now. I really wish that we could put some kind of collars or something on our sheep and goats. Something that would make it a little easier for us to keep track of which is which. Kind of my issue, I guess, because we did end up kind of unintentionally cloning them. But okay, you need to be cleaned, and this is just easier to catch these guys when they're paused. Ask to play dead. We need a stronger relationship. Okay. Well, we are going to hug. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Well, why is that picking that up instead? Because Sims. Okay, and we're going to ask who is the greatest of all time. Clearly that goat. Okay, and oops, I need to actually pay attention to what that says. Okay, so we can just milk Dominic, and probably should work on a relationship with him as well, or her. Um, it's a little confusing. It shouldn't be. Dominic provides milk, so Dominic is actually a girl. Very basic concept, I know, but some days I struggle with that one. Okay, and you are very happy. Relationship isn't too bad, so we should be good there. Let's see what Clara is up to. Okay. Nectar making in the nude, apparently. And now shorts. Ugh, we need to clean that litter box too. That's the downside to having to have the cheapest. We need to upgrade that when we can. Okay. We have its starting value is 101 simoleons. I think not one of our best, to be honest. Probably because she wasn't really feeling the greatest. She is feeling energized. It's amazing that dumping ingredients in a tub, then stomping them to a pulp, could produce nectar. Clara finds the whole process utterly fascinating. It is pretty cool. Okay, we have some outstanding quality manure. Several of the normal, and I think 8 of, the poor quality. But when spring comes, we will have lots to use, so that will be good. Okay. How are you hungry again? Like, seriously. Okay, this is not necessarily a necessity in The Sims, but we're going to have her wash her hands after handling a manure, and then she will go ahead and have something to eat. I think I'm going to have her do a gourmet meal today. See if she has. Yeah, she has the stuff to make garlic noodles. Just a single serving, though. But she is just one person, so that's all she needs for today. She's leaving mud tracks in the house. Somehow. I'm not sure. Oh, that is hairballs. Whoops. Mud tracks. Mud tracks, hairballs, same difference. Yeah, we'll need to clean that up. Okay. A trash can is required. Is the trash can full? It's probably full. This one is full of snow. I need to check on these once in a while too. These are not as obvious when they're broken. You have to kind of spot the little bits of water shooting out the sides. Okay, yeah, those are all good yet. And she's going in to wash her hands and make something to eat. And then we will do our daily round of training. Let's see. Looking in here, we definitely need to work just on our relationship with Haiku, but I think we'll probably work on agility with Haiku. Oh, actually, I wanted to do the jobs. Okay, we will try to find an agility job for Haiku, and probably also agility. Yeah, I'm going to do agility for Kentucky also. So we'll do 2 jobs after she's had something to eat. Okay. Oh. What? What's going on? Why are we going out by... What's going on? What did she do? Okay. Well, let's try to at least resume those noodles and finish eating. What are you... Oh my goodness. Looks like everyone's going to need cleaned too now. Will you please resume the garlic noodles? You can give everyone a good brush before we go, but you need to eat. And it looks like Bart needs to eat too. Okay, that was actually pretty quick. Actually, garlic noodles sounds really good right about now. Queuing you all up to get a bath. I feel like the brushing is not enough. I feel like we should be pulling out a water bucket and, you know, giving... Okay. I know, we can't... Seriously? Land grab power company safety alert. Due to squirrels, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we're prepared. We've been here before. Too bad we're turning off your power right now. Yeah, go ahead. We're independent on the whole power grid thing. It's okay. All right. As you notice, it did not affect us at all. Place is still lit up because we rely on candles other than in the barn. I feel like I shouldn't trust horses around candles. Just, Okay, we will leave Arizona and Bart here. They can keep an eye on each other. And then we're going to head into town and get some work. Okay, I do want to clarify first of all too that I do know that we have one of these boards over near our property, but I kind of like the idea of having to go into town to see what's happening and get jobs and that kind of thing. So that's kind of why I've been doing that. I am not seeing anything specifically for agility. So I think we will work on endurance skills for Kentucky, and then we will do the temperament skill for Haiku. And we will see what we earn from that. And I think afterwards I'm going to send both of them in for lessons here. We should have the money then to do that. Just one lesson each today, kind of help out any skills that they're lacking in, and then head back to the ranch. I will say that I wish when you went to do a job or to do the training that you had a super speed option similar to when you're sleeping, at least when you're working with one playable sim, because sitting here even on the high speed waiting for the job to finish is really tedious. I also think because of how late we got here, we are not going to actually have time to do the job with Haiku. So we'll probably have to come back tomorrow and do that again. I do hope I can still get them in for training, but yeah, it's not looking like it because it is after hours. So I think what I'm going to do is end that here. I think it's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode today, but you may be able to hear it in my voice. My throat's a little bit sore today. I have been talking too much the last few days. We've had some visiting to do and that kind of thing. And yeah, I have been overusing my voice. But I want to say thank you for stopping by today. I hope you enjoyed your visit. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you thought about today's video. Have a great day, and I hope to see you again real soon.